best music videos of all time, fam. Of all time. If you want to get your videos on Comcast in 1 million cable boxes, White Hood X, fam. We from Chirac, fam. Jesus walks, fam. Sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
Mr. O'Neill, listen, stop, listen to me. You're not going to raise your voice again.
I'm not going to raise my voice again. I'm not.
I will have you removed from this courtroom. I can sentence you without you being present.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't conduct
I
yourself.
understand, Your Honor.
Thank you.
But I will say, I'm sorry for your loss.
19 years I've been at this job. I've seen human beings killed at the hands of others in every way imaginable. You name it, I've seen it. Shootings, stabbings, drownings, suffocatings, blown apart by cars and DUI manslaughter cases. Horrible things. This is the worst case I have ever seen as far as the facts go. When the person from fire department, when he testified, and when he said that he retrieved the body of Ronivia O'Neill from the home, and all he could do was sob. took every ounce I had not to start sobbing too. Because there is no way any person with any feeling could have witnessed or seen the photos of what occurred that night and not be haunted for the rest of your life. I know I will be. For the rest of my life, I'll be haunted by what I saw as far as the evidence and just the abject cruelty of it all. The abject cruelty. And I was aware, because I reviewed a lot of the discovery ahead of time, as you well know, did a lot of in-camera inspection of a lot of documents. And I was aware there was some evidence, at least, that when you needed to recover from your gunshot wound, that neither your parents nor your Aisha, Ms. Robinson, would let you come recover at their home. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not going to get into a dispute. I'm just mentioning there was some evidence referencing that in the records. And all I could think about, because I knew that this Baron was not with you romantically at the time. And I knew that she just out of the goodness of her heart let you come stay with her. And it is beyond tragic that that critical decision ended in so much horror for her and for her children. It is unspeakably cruel what happened as a result of that one decision. The way that Ms. Barron died was horrific, and that 911 call, which captured truly all of it. You've heard, and everyone who's heard that 911 call heard a death scream. If anybody ever wants to know what it sounds like before a human being dies, knowing that their death is imminent, that's exactly what it is.
Welcome to Godspeed TV. It's your host Poemoe, aka Bruce Spiritual, aka Spiritual Bruce. Into the dragon in here. We're finna demonstrate tonight. We're gonna talk about Orion in the hood, and we got some queens in the house. NRG Day Moon, Leveling Up Movement, Hood X in here. Native Mind, my fault. Big shout out to Rock. My boy Big Bronson, SFL Music, No Shoe Entertainment. Y'all know how we do. But today I'm gonna read something. We're gonna talk about Orion in the hood and the alien thumbprint, or you can kind of see the alien footprint in the hood on Earth. And we're gonna take it to a couple of sisters who be channeling. And I want y'all to remember that when they channeling the spiritual entities. And every time they channel these spiritual entities, they some type of way be in the urban areas, city, neighborhoods. You'll see. But we're gonna get into that. But we're gonna read Alpha Draconis, Orion Group. The direction of life force collected through the NRG Grids is hierarchical and managed by the Alpha Draconian system in Orion Constellation. However, multiple conflicts exist within the system. System is in our bodies now, like just look at how this affects you. It's like a mandala, all the way out, and then the same thing all the way in. And the fight for its resources exists amongst many species. The reptilian and draconian levels of contingents. There is a vast system of bottom feeders and defectors. The Orion Group is a satanic force that has perpetuated, the Orion Group is a satanic force that has predatorial ideology. Remember that uses females as slaves or breeders while seeking territorial dominion on other planets. Remember the Section 8 on that within their warring and killing culture. Their position is their position in the NAA, which is an abbreviation from Negative Alien Agenda or Negative Alien Archine Group. So whenever you see NAA, that's the negative aliens. I guess it's positive aliens out here too. And its consortium of negative aliens is called the Black Sun Program. We're going to read Black Sun Program is the Negative Alien Agenda, NAA, is to force the planet to serve another multiple species controller agenda through imposing false replicate time fields using biowarfare technology such as holographic inserts, AI, mind control, and namely created, like that. But we're going to keep going, and that's what I played for y'all a second ago. A version of how it look when they do this. They are a predator force with a predator mind, which is mainly responsible for creating much of the negative ego in humanity through mind control programming, and that they have introduced financial and debts enslaved to the planet Earth through the banking cartels. Remember China. Draco species are potentially, Draco species are potentially capable of shapeshifting and having extremely developed psionic abilities, which allow them to possess or enter bodies through conscious projections. Therefore, as they originate form of a phantom matrix system of satanic-based AI-infected entities, AI programming, many of these Draco entities are confused by people as the devil or believing they are Satan as an individual figure. I'm going to read that again. Draco species are potentially capable of shapeshifting and have extremely developed psychic abilities, which allow them to possess or enter bodies through conscious projection. Let's go.
That was a death scream.
We're going to see if it's true.
But what happened to little Ranivia and to little Ronnie, but I'm going to focus on Ranivia because she was special. And you could tell Miss Barron had done everything she could to create a beautiful home for her family. I noticed that the Ranivia's bedroom, before you set her on fire, you could tell she tried so hard to make her feel like a princess. Kenyatta did everything she could. And I noticed too in the kitchen on the refrigerator, she put up magnets that said faith, love, family, hope. And then you know what else happened at the refrigerator during that night? It got splattered with blood all over it due to what happened. Little Ranivia,
conscious projection,
screamed, she couldn't run away, and she witnessed what you did to her mother for shooting her mother in the arm with a gunshot. She knew. And the horror that child suffered. And she already had a life where she was born with challenges regarding her physical and mental disabilities. But the pain and suffering that she suffered that night at your
his whole family.
Unspeakable. Absolutely unspeakable. And at the moment that struck her with that hatchet, and little Ronnie testified that all he could see was tears coming out of his sister's face. At that moment, that child knew. She knew she was being betrayed in the cruelest, most tragic, and sorrowful way that a child could ever be betrayed. She was being betrayed by her parents, the one person that should be there to protect their children and love them and keep them from harm. And that's the last thing that child felt before she passed on from this earth was your utter, cruel betrayal to her. And I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not. I think she's talking about my shit. I read somewhere that souls take their lives, and that they know exactly how difficult their lives are going to be before they enter into this world.
She's been reading my shit.
And I don't know if that's true or not.
Yes, it is.
But if it is, Ranivia O'Neal is one of the bravest souls I have ever come across in my 54 years on this planet.
How Lucifer, Satan, Saturn, the archons, how the devil, that's right, y'all, the devil, whatever you want to call it, it's all of that. Lucifer, Satan, Saturn, the devil, how that entity, that system, I want to talk about how that system is still to this day.
Leveling Up Movement, speaking right now.
How this system, or that system, is still tricking God, aka black people, till this day. I want to talk about how the devil is still tricking God till this day. Now, I know when you hear that, it probably sound like, I don't know how it may sound to you, but usually when you hear of God and the devil, you think about religion, the Christianity God, that God, that man they told you about in the sky. usually think about, that when you hear about God. You think about the devil, you think about that big old red being underneath the ground, hell. That's what you normally think about when you hear about God and the devil. But I'm here to tell you, all of that was an orchestrated lie to deceive you. God, I'm talking to God right now, black people, I'm talking to you because you are the creator. That is an illusion. That Bible, that all of that orchestrated to trick you, to deceive you, to put you in deeper and deeper spells. They've been putting God, the creator, us, black women, black men, we have allowed the devil to still trick us till this day. Not only did they trick our ancestors, not only did they trick us, they are still tricking us.
Do a little bit of remote viewing with me. In a way, I won't go near your brain, but we will go through the minds of some very powerful people in my life.
And what she's explaining is we're going to go through the minds of some very powerful people. And what these young gifted sisters have is a remote viewing gift that they can go into a zone and remote view from any place of things. And they teach you how to do that. By the way, this Farsight on YouTube. Now, not to get too much lost on that, what you're going to hear is a series of her remote viewing. And with their remote viewing is spiritual light, spiritual beings, God bodies, goddesses in the land. And they're hunting for them. And it's the same thing. Like if you look at Earth and you're looking at it from a spiritual spectrum, you're going to see a black ball, but then you're going to see spots of lights all over. Spots of lights is where every spiritual people, that's how aliens see. So they navigate to the areas of a light. And the same thing she sees, the same thing they see. And they always talk about the hood, urban, you will see. But just listen. Let's go.
That was scary sound. I have no clue what that was. But yes, we're all going to go through other minds. Not any of yours. I won't go through your minds. But we're going to go through some other minds of other beings and other people and whatnot. And we're going to do some deep mind probing. Hugs. It's okay. It's okay.
Let's get this shit right. Your boy K-blao, Hood X. All right, this is a very special edition of Godspeed with Brother Poemoe. And we're going to be bringing you some very secret information. I just want to give him a proper introduction because I ain't never heard nobody break this information down. Like, matter of fact, I never even heard this information before until, you know what I'm saying, broke this down and it was another chamber. When we graduated from the Hood X League, we went to what was called Intergalactic Talk, which is basically a different energy from what you see with the Hood X League. And a lot of people didn't know that we had moved over from the Hood X League in the Intergalactic Talk. So I just want to give this brother a proper introduction and let him explain not only what Intergalactic Talk is, but also tonight's topic, which is what's called Orion in the Hood. And what both of these topics mean and why it's important that people take time out of their day and just get a brief understanding of what this is. So without no further ado, I want to introduce Brother Poemoe from Godspeed. What's up, man? Floor is yours.
What up, family? Well, yeah, pretty much, this is something you got to, Intergalactical Talk is a new series, not even a series, because that used to be for entertainment purpose. That's under the age of Pisces, when we just entertaining, or we really wasn't, but motherfuckers was taking it as entertainment. But this is real, just to get it out there to the people, you know what I'm saying? This is something you got to know, and the only way we can see fit to help you understand is that you have to use your imagination. That's the gateway. That's the only way in to understand the intergalactical talk is through the imagination. Through the imagination, after you have absorbed it with the imagination, then it will become evident in your life. But you can't get to that point unless you use the imagination. You know what I'm saying? You gotta break free of that shit you was told. What they told you is real, what they told you ain't real, because you really don't fucking know. You know what I'm talking about? Now, this intergalactical shit is like entities, you know what I'm saying? Just to give you a brief synopsis. They're bigger than the Illuminati. They created the Illuminati. These, you know, white motherfuckers ain't just smart. So just by knowing this, you already know they had to have some type of help, you know what I'm saying? Niggas in the hood go through synchronized bullshit, you know what I'm saying? This ain't just no shit a nigga can do at home. This is some space shit. This is some future technology, you know. How a nigga just go outside, get into it with his wife. He got a rock 8-ball in his pocket. Just so happen he drive down the street, left his license at home. The police just so happen to pull him over in jail. Come on. So, you know, go ahead. You got any more questions?
So when it comes to this matrix that we live in, it's really
NRG
considered a
Demo.
demiurge. And the demiurge is considered the craftsman or the agent who took all the leftover chaos matter and arranged it in according to a model of eternal form, a matter that created this world and the men. Showstopper, peace. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm just hopping in really briefly. So this world is what we would call being placed in the 13th dimension.
What are you doing?
You know, I gotta stay prepared. I like this body.
So what is this, like a trap house? This where you serve out of or something?
Yeah, it's like a little hotel and shit I get, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stay moving. I can't stay in one situation for a long period of time.
So let me get this straight, just to recap. You say y'all jump in and out of people.
Yeah, have you ever seen the fucking movie Bezos or Fallen that you got that asshole Denzel?
Falling?
Yeah, the movie Fallen. I move like that. I'm an entity. Me and my friends can move in and out of bodies at will.
And I was heavily in thought, thinking about when I came, or I should say elevated, out of a constructed religion and more into spirituality. I thought about when I came up out of that, and I immediately went into dealing with Orishas, and I started to see that there was another pattern. When you come up out of one form of spirituality, you go straight into another, and there's still a structure that you must follow.
Do we have a deal? You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realized? Ignorance is bliss. Then we have a deal. I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. You understand?
So why did you choose this body?
Because he was at a low ass vibration. Like I said, he killed 17 people. That's a pretty low ass vibration.
Do you stay in him all the time, or do you jump in?
No, I've been in him for a while. I like him. He's not big as hell. I can move fast. I can run from, you know, the authorities, as you call them, and shit like that.
The fact that he's black, did that have anything to do with it? Or like,
yeah, his melanin, it helps.
The melanin help?
Yeah, he got a vivid ass imagination, so I can perform magic tricks easily.
As well, and we are God. And I don't even like to say God, because that in itself is still a word that, you know, that is created or made up. But I have to give some type of reference, you know. That's the Almighty, the All-Knowing, the universe. These entities, these reptilians, these archons, these draconians, Saturn, Satan, all the same system. They have been manipulating us and tricking us since forever, y'all. I ain't gonna say since the beginning, because it was a point in time where, you know, we was on our shit. We wasn't even falling for the beats. We wasn't falling for the beats. But at some particular time, some particular lifetime, we fell for beasts.
See, white people, I can't perform magic tricks. You know, they're more like synthetic. So with them, I have to go by a certain set of rules. And those rules are like 47. And when you get the black man, there's no goddamn rules. That's the difference.
So when you jump inside a black body, you can do more things than you can inside a white.
Yes, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. But if I go inside a white body, it's contained in rules. You know, they're more locked into the matrix. I don't like the matrix. I like to be free when I enter your world.
So what type of things attract shadow walking?
Shit like this. See how I knew what the fuck you was gonna ask me before you asked me shit like this, and just to want, just to want to be like him. Imagine this. A white Jesus. I love it when you chase this motherfucker. I'm right there at the door to fuck your life up. Now you don't believe in him and you don't believe in me, so now you're fucked up in the head.
The people don't believe in you.
But they never thought the devil exists, as you call him, and that was his biggest weapon, is to make motherfuckers think he's just so happy. So say you walk out the door, you put on a new white clothes, you're going to an all-white party, and you spill grape juice on your fucking shirt. You're already fucked up already. But you go anyway, you keep persistent to have fun. Then you get there and there's some shit like a bitch get mad at a guy because he caught her cheating with her friend, and she started scratching him in the face, and then they start pepper spraying the whole fucking place, and then the next thing you know, everybody's trampling over each other, and you got like 47 dead people.
And then when I came up out of that, it was another thing in a structure that I still had to follow. Even when it comes to astrology, which is my Achilles heel, which I love so much, I'm constantly looking to the stars. But in all reality, not even the stars can dictate my destiny. It was essentially me giving over power from one form to another form to another form. It's like when they say don't go to your altar, you have to have all these rules. Don't go to your altar naked. When you talk to your ancestors, do it like this. When you do that, do it like this. Who is really to determine that? Peace to the Legend Fox in the building, GX. Famous battle rapper in the building. You know what I'm saying? Brother definitely spits on some esoteric and metaphysical levels. I definitely love it. But my whole thing was, I noticed when I came up out of one structure, it was one structure after another, after another, after another. Kind of what they call the onion effect. Each time you peel back a layer, there's another layer. But we sit here and it's like
Yes, lovely.
So is it just one of you, or is it money? Is it one of you, or is it many of you?
It's many. It's many. Right now, I have 14 brothers friends or brothers, but it's 14 in this place we call Chirac.
In Chirac?
Yeah, we operate the whole motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We get out real nice. Death and pain is how we get high.
What about the music, like the rap music?
Oh, that's like a fucking you know how you going to a party and you got a trophy bitch? That's like the trophy bitch. She ushers you in real smooth. You know what I'm saying?
The music ushers
us in, yeah. So when I hear somebody say turn up, I know it's time to go see what they're gonna turn up about. They're already drunk, they already high, it's time to get the cracking. Next thing you know, you got either the police or the mayor on the scene, or the TV talking about we gotta help the situation.
And what about like the reality shows and stuff like that?
That's domestic. That's to keep that shit going. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean domestic?
Samson. What you call Samson. Samson, he was a gang chief back in this day, and he just gave up, you know what I'm saying? He had a little authority and shit, but he started looking at the world through Delilah's eyes, and when he did that, she's already based off chaos. And domestic violence keeps the man at like what you call civil war. So if you got war at home, how you ever gonna fight anything else? And you damn sure ain't gonna see me and my brother. You know what I'm saying?
What they got to do with the reality show?
They keep the bitch mad. If you show a bitch a big ass diamond ring and she don't have it, and some other motherfucker gave it to her, what do you think your wife gonna be? She's gonna be pissed the fuck off. Don't you think so? So now you're arguing and shit all day. bitching about nothing. Poor Samson, he don't know what the fuck going on.
So y'all jumping those type of people too? That's basically what you're saying?
Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Like James Brown. What the fuck you calling James Brown? Make the world go round or some shit? This is a man's world, but it won't be the damn thing without a woman's touch. That's pussy. That's what we call pussy. And pussy is our biggest play, you know. But we have female shadow walkers. There's not that many. I don't like the woman energy, you know what I'm saying? She move a little bit too fucking much, and she's always fucking thinking at 100,000 miles an hour. I don't really like that. The man really just sits back and obeys the fuck I tell him to do.
And so, overall, like somebody keep telling me, asking in the comments, what would you say your purpose is?
We must know this, black woman and black man. We must know this. I know we like to just keep talking about what they did, what they do, but we have to take responsibility. Not saying it was all our fault, because like I said, this stuff has been happening. It happened to our ancestors. But at this particular time in the game, in life, we have to know that we are still being manipulated, brainwashed, put under spells just as well. And for a lot of black people, a lot of us are still in the sunken place. Y'all know what type of black people I'm talking about. Those ones who still believe in Jesus Christ.
We sit here and we come up out of Christianity, and then we go into the next thing, and there's structures, there's Orishas, there's what the Orishas like and what they don't like. There's magic, and then there's the grimoire, there's what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But at some point, we have to realize that all the power comes from within us. Contact the ancestors. The ancestors are me in this dimension and inside of me. You manifest like the word. You don't say you're going to do something. It's the difference between people who say they're going to do something, keep chanting it over and over, and then the people who actually go and they apply the recipe to do it. This is what I need to do to get to where I want to go. I want to write a book. Damn, let me go buy a typewriter.
Which was a fictional character, if you don't know that. A lot of people still believe in whatever religion, still believe in the fake news, still believe in all of this stuff that is being orchestrated on a day-to-day basis. So when I say the devil is still tricking God till this day, that's what I'm talking about. See, a lot of my people still like to pray. Oh, Jesus, oh, God, oh, save me. And I ain't even going to bash those people, because I would be lying to you and sit up here and make it seem like I never, did. That's how we was raised.
Maybe not a typewriter, but I'm old school. I like to hear that click, 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 click. You know what I mean? Go get you a new laptop. You want to do music, start where you can start. There's a code to all of this. But you have to create like the word. You can't just speak the word. Works without faith is dead.
We was raised to believe that God was a man in the sky, blah, 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 blah. We all were. Well, I don't know about all of us, but majority of us were raised to believe that. But at some point in time, we have to stop believing the lies, believing the illusions, because this is how we will continue to be at the bottom. This is how we will continue to be mentally enslaved.
So Jin he says, it was explained to me not rules but guidelines. So sometimes I wonder, because I'm tired of waiting on gurus and godparents. I would say start hitting your subconscious. Hit yourself with those rituals and contact your higher self. Get the answers that you desire, because you don't have to wait on a guru. The power that we keep giving to other things. You better not do this, you might make Oshun mad. You better not do that, because Papa Negama might get you. You better not do this or you're going to hell. If you do that, Allah's gonna curse you. Well, damn. I don't like this club. Oh,
Because we are allowing these evil entities to continue to trick us. And the way that they are tricking us is because black people, well, most black people don't want to do their own research and they don't want to think. They don't want to have their own freaking mind.
We back on that shit again.
What they asking in the comments, they
My purpose is to fuck niggas up. What the fuck don't you understand? Fucking niggas up is my purpose. My purpose is to snatch soul. We lost our purpose, so we gave ourselves a purpose, and we seen these melanated ass beings that we seen on Earth, and they seem to have a lot of potential and shit, and we got kind of jealous, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, or whatever the fuck you call it, he likes them, and he forgot about us. So, our purpose is to fuck any motherfucker up that's trying to obey what you guys call God, or the Father, or the Mother. That's our purpose. And our purpose is to bring them down, snatch their souls, and get high.
And how do you do this?
We get high. We get high off pain. That's our fucking purpose, and we can call us fucking dolphins in your world. We're dolphins. We like pain and misery.
What type of people like pain and misery?
We do. We get trophies. We got a thriving economy of fucking the people of God up. I mean, economy, and whoever can figure out how
you got to wait, say that again. You got a what?
Thriving economy.
A thriving economy
on fucking the people of God up. Yes. So whoever can fuck up Heru or Storm, or as you call it, the Messiah, they can be cheap. They can get a lot of money. We can get a lot of perks in our world. Our world is black and gray. It's chemtrails. Our world has seeped into your world, and you see it, and naturally you think it's just a plane flying over the sky, but it's spraying all illusions, which is chemtrails.
First thing that I see is like this big, almost looks like this, like a little.
You promote viewing.
Around it, almost like just like a.
Same thing they do.
I don't know, but that's the first thing I see, and then I see, this big surface here. This is just totally separate from this. This is just something that I see on its own. Now, it's kind of looking like the base surface is here. I see a single subject here, and then I see like another subject over here.
Looking for spiritual
but
people.
Around the subject is a very bright light right behind them, and a lot of energetics around them as well. So it's kind of like this all around it. Almost like that, and then it's like pushing, out there too. So it's kind of coming up and taking over this area over here, covering this subject as well in energetics.
He's drawing light around
that's just
two people.
The first thing that I'm seeing. There's a lot of rumbles. It's very loud here. It feels slightly chaotic. And
Chicago.
A lot of man-made sounds as well.
Any neighborhood,
I
city
also
in
sense that there's
America.
just a lot of heat here. It feels very
Detroit.
hot around
Philly.
here. And then there also seems to be like this thick smoke in the air as well. So just thick, smoky, energetics, man-made, slightly chaotic vibes here at this time.
That's how our world looks. Gray and motherfucking blue and black. And this is a trophy. What the fuck am I trophy? This is a nigga who thought he was God back. You see what I'm saying? And he's more like the fame, and only we knew that. You know what I'm saying? He's a fire sign, so he like to show off shit. And he was close though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna say his name either because I don't want to make him a fucking martyr. But yeah, I got his ass. You know what I'm saying? And these are trinkets that they give me. And a thriving economy, this is not shit. You know what I'm saying? This ain't shit. You know, and I don't care about this. I'm talking about the soul. the actual entity of the motherfucker. Like, I got two souls right now. This one, and then there's another one I got, he sleep right now. When I wake his ass up, I can do all type of things with him. Because he believes Young Thug is real.
Do you sleep at all? Like, do you fall asleep?
No, never sleep, no.
I also sense that the subject here feels like they're suffocating or choking on something. So maybe this is the thick air that they're choking on, but the tightness in the chest.
Could be talking
Another
about
thing
y'all.
that I'm seeing here is something that looks like a big like burst. It looks like something's here in the middle of it, and then from there it really just like goes outwards like that.
She's drawing a burst of light.
And it's just all over the place. Huge. Definitely looks like some
energy.
sort of explosion of some sort.
Or
okay, so I'm seeing that.
Negative energy.
Now, there's just a lot of rumbling, a lot of.
It sounds like
it feels like everything's kind of moving. It feels like things are being like sinking in. It also feels like a lot of things like cease to exist. Like it feels like stuff is no longer there. So it's right here, and it looks like some sort of structures are here, maybe some structures here, and this big
downtown structures.
Yo, this shit is crazy. You gotta take your destiny into your own hands. Can't nobody give you what you deserve. You have to reach out and take it. We are just as powerful as the source that we are created from. And we have to remember that this world is created from a demiurge, a very vampiric energy.
Big like burst coming out from inside and around and like that. It's like this coming over here like that. Very mushroom cloudy as well, outwards like this. So just mushroomy as well. That. So it looks like this is kind of coming out of the structures. I also sense that there's some sort of water in the distance. So this
Lake Michigan.
Water back here as well. Subject still on the base surface, feels very chaotic. This is the moment where it feels like everything is kind of starting to fade away, and this area is starting to feel very empty now.
That means it has to feed.
Wow. Did you see that?
No. So, I wanted to come on and tell everyone about at least what I personally have learned from manifesting, and I still have my Achilles heel. I love astrology. I love astrology. And sometimes I find myself being addicted to that energy, just like some people are addicted to reads, and some people are addicted to drama. Some people are addicted to drugs, shit. Some people are addicted to sex. We all have our Achilles heel.
The body might lay down, but I'm giving it time to recharge because it's a human. But me, I never sleep. The fuck I'm asleep for? It's plenty niggas to fuck up. Let me give you an example. It was this guy, he came outside and he meant well, and Nike was trying to get a trophy off his ass, you know what I'm saying? So he was walking down the street and shit, and Nike tried to sell him a knife, because a Nike had a hit for him in the hotel. So he tried to sell a knife. The little dumb motherfucker called himself want to be smart, want to be of God and turn it down. So I told Anaki to give him the fucking knife, and if he take it, I will take over. So he gave Anaki said, this is another shadow walker I'm talking about. So Anaki said, he take the knife. He took the knife, and he said, he never fucking thought, why, if I'm trying to sell you the knife and you refuse to buy it, then why would I give it to you? No one can see this type of shit. So
he gave it to him even though he didn't want to buy it?
Yeah, I gave it to him, but I told Anaki to give it to him, but I knew Anaki, the mortal wouldn't understand what the fuck was going on because he sleep. You know, if he was a guy body, he would have said, wait a minute, how would you, first you trying to sell me tonight, and when I refuse it, then you're going to try to give it to me. So that's what I knew he wasn't going to say that shit. So yeah, he took the knife, put it in his back pocket, and went to the hotel. And then I took over. Because Anaki was slipping. You know, he been smoking too much pain. You know, he killed a couple of niggas and shit, got him a couple of trophies, got big headed. But I took over. So the way I set the situation up was when he got to the hotel, I seen another motherfucker that was in the hotel, a night walker. And I was halfway in his body. You know, it was halfway in, halfway out. So all I needed him to do was when the bitch went to the bathroom is get her phone. And I needed, once he got the phone, I knew he was high, so I wanted him to break it or drop it. So I had him drop it. He stepped on the phone, cracked the screen, picked it up. And that's when my boy walked in with the knife in his back pocket. So, almost there. So the broad came out the bathroom, but I had to figure out how to give the phone to the guy, the young guy who was finna be a god. I need to get his ass poked. So he gave, hey man, hold this phone for me. And he took the damn phone, held it. The girl came out and she said, where the fuck my phone at? And he had it. The guy who had nothing to do with the situation and was broke. So he gave it back to her and she like, who the fuck broke my phone? Why you break my phone? And then he said, no, I didn't break my phone. You know, all that old shit. He said, he gave me the phone. Then they got to fighting. So dude got the knife in his pocket. And I just couldn't get him to get the knife out of his back pocket to stab the guy in his throat. I wanted him to stab him 47 times.
Okay, so slightly above the target, I also see something very big up in the sky. It looks kind of like this, like something else, maybe hanging off of it, something like that, you know, something like that. In the sky, right above the space surface, and this is some sort of
spaceship over the city
as well. Yeah. The last visual that I have is a very flat base surface, some sort of wave in the background, feels like water, and then just, you know, still this flat land up here still, right? This whole area right here where the land is and the water is back here, it feels completely empty. And then I see these two things that look like this almost. They look just like this. And it feels like such immense, like powerful energy. Feels like something is missing here. Like the ground has like a hole in it now type vibe, okay? That's what this area is starting to feel like.
The most important voice that we have to listen to comes from within us, but we're constantly looking outside of ourselves. And each time we come up into a new level of consciousness, it's like there's a glass ceiling because there's something that is stopping you. There's a rule. There's something that is like going to get you if you don't do it right. Well, I manifested in the right one because I'm a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? Very bullheaded. And I needed that energy. I'm indigo. I've gone through this. I've gone through this in past lives. And interestingly enough, I was doing a lot of research and I don't know, I'm probably going to save that for the next one, but I want to talk to y'all about CERN. You know what I'm saying?
It feels like it just feels like everything's gone and there's nothing here. It's all been completely wiped out. There's a lot of energetics around here as well. I see yellows, I'm seeing oranges, I'm seeing reds in the background as well. So it's just very this, and it feels so chaotic here. The movement, the activity, everything feels all over the place. All over the place. These subjects, they're gone. They're not here. And overall, the energy just feels like almost like it was a surprise and it was caught off guard.
They want to continue to believe what the oppressor wants them to believe. Like I talk about on this channel, there's a difference between believing something and knowing something. We are entering the age of forgetting, believing something. No, it's about knowing the facts. See, when you know something, you don't have to believe it. But you're never gonna know if you continue to just believe in what everybody else is. No, go inward. Believe yourself. What do you feel on the inside? I'm talking to you. You listen to this. What do you feel on the inside? You know something, right? You know.
I do see a single subject here. This subject kind of looks like they have a round head. They have kind of small eyes. So it looks like the subject's here just look very human, round heads. He does have hair on the top of his head. Not necessarily curly hair, but just short hair on the top of his head. So this is just one subject here that I'm sensing as well.
You know, she's smiling. She like him.
Now, yes, I'm seeing all these bright colors, but I also see a lot of deep, dark, like blacks, grays. There's those smoky colors as well, covering the whole skies in the sky. Just smoke, like you can just see the smoke lingering in the sky afterwards. Focusing on the target event here, it feels very chaotic. It feels deep. It feels dark. It feels sinister. It feels like there's, like the ground is sinking. There's a hole in the ground. It feels like a big explosion has gone off, like kind of like that. If that was to explode, I feel like that's how like a star looks when it's exploding. So it's like a big circle and then the ring expanding outwards. That's kind of what that's reminding me of.
You know what, something ain't that right. How is it that we are living in a world? Y'all know that words are subliminal. Y'all know that all of these words are subliminal. So we live in a world. They've been putting us in, I think they call it a world, because you're in a fucking world. Come on, y'all. They've been putting us under spells using this English evil language. We don't even supposed to be speaking like this. But since we have been all brainwashed, indoctrinated, oppressed, this is why. But anyway, I ain't even gonna focus too much on that. I just want to say the devil is still tricking God to this day. And another point I want to make is the way that this Saturn, this Satan, has been doing this is because I don't know what happened, y'all. I don't know what happened other lifetimes ago, but you must know that we Black people are forever. We have always existed.
Now, but just big explosion. I hear like this pop, the rumbles, the smoke, the buildings are gone, the structures are gone, the subjects are gone, and there's just nothing left here. Yeah. And then, yes, I say bomb because I do see something that looks like this bright, like star on the ground, on the base surface. Like, this is what I see when I'm looking at the target event.
And everything that was let out then. Everything that was let out, we were led to believe that the machine broke, but it really didn't break. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. And 10 years later, you have the repercussions of it because it's chaos. It's the old ones. It's the divas that are now awake. Legend has it that we were put to sleep by our kids, the demiurges, but not really. And it's going to be chaos before it becomes order. So with that being said, I wanted to come to you guys and just talk about this that was on my mind all day. I haven't been able to catch up with you guys. I wanted to have Young Promise on, but I forgot that she actually has a show tomorrow. So I wanted to allow her to go ahead and prepare. Let's see. Showstopper says, they're all tools, but we can be dependent at times. Yes, I agree. They're all tools. And if they are beneficial for you, then absolutely use them. Like, I don't have a problem with people who are, Christians a lot or none of that. But I like to practice and deal in magic and alchemy. I really like to say, like, if you want to really walk and say that you are a God, then you can't put no limitations on yourself.
So now I'm going to move to the cause of the target event. I sense that there's a couple of subjects on the base surface inside the structure. These subjects feel very entitled. They feel like almost as if they think they own like the whole world. That's how these subjects are feeling to me. It feels like a plan. It feels like an attack. It feels like something that they did to really benefit themselves. This other group of subjects here who are the cause of all of this right here. So either, they've got the power to attack this sort of area, or they helped orchestrate and plan it as an attack as well.
But he didn't do it.
What did he plan?
He didn't stab him?
He wanted us down.
How did that make you feel that he didn't stab him?
It was all good because he wanted us down.
He ended up dying.
Yeah, the other guy went to his he had a gun where the Bible was supposed to be. He had a gun. He put the gun on, blew the nigga head off for trying to even, fuck with him. So he died laying there with a knife. And I had the guy that had the gun get off because I had him tell the police that he tried to stab him with the knife. So I suggested, get the knife out of his back pocket. He went into his pants trying to steal money. I knew he would find the knife. He found the knife, pulled it out of his back pocket, put it in his hand, and he stabbed himself in the arm. So he got 7 years, but he got off. And I'm going to use him for later. He's like a fucking refrigerator with a steak in it. You know how you're going to save it for later? You just feed that motherfucker.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, take 9, motherfucker. This is a motherfucking M16. I'm waiting to use this on about 3 niggas I catch. Let me see, with the gaiters on going to church. Them the niggas I like. Them motherfucking hypocrites. I want to catch the nigga with the gaiters on and the Tom Ford suit on. I'm going to light his motherfucking ass up. But what I'm going to have his body think?
Yes, these subjects are very serious. They feel so calm at the same time. They feel very like they scare me on some low key stuff. But these subjects here just definitely, it's all about power, it's all about control, and it's about kind of just asserting that here at this target. And that's all I have for this target.
You have to be in a finite body expressing yourself in an infinite way. Because if it's infinite, it's infinite possibilities. And I can't put a block on my power, a limit or a restriction because I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Should I see crazy shit every day on the news? I'm afraid of what's going to happen when I swipe my credit card. Is this shit going to go through? Yeah, I got a crazy sense of humor, but you got to keep it humorous. Again, we are the frequency. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for a lot of us to keep the frequency and resonate in it and keep it and hold it, which is why we have a hard time manifesting. We keep forgetting that the universe isn't going to give us what we want, but it's going to give us what we need. And sometimes that's the struggle.
But somehow, some way, our brain, something happened, y'all. Something happened where we forgot that we were the goddesses and the gods of this universe. And we forgot that we were in a holographic universe. Somehow they tricked us due to I'm gonna say they have alien. I made a video a while back. I was talking about how they have alien technology that can manipulate light. Y'all must understand that everything you see around you is made out of light. It's information, code, vibration, energy. All of it is light code. An urban environment with a lot of irregular and level topography, multiple structures, man-made and natural, moving structures on the surface level. I have some foliage, and right now I'm getting the smell of smoke, smell of
weed,
smoke or fire. Level land here, and these what looks to be like a city off in the distance, or like city-like, urban-like, with other tall to short structures here, and things that look more or less like houses. I deduct that, as long as I don't know if they're houses, but they seem more or less like houses, like a neighborhood, like apartments in a neighborhood, city and a town, residential and business structures here. There seems to be a lot of movement here, and I'm getting a warmth, but it's a central warmth location here. A lot of energetics.
In order to get to the end of the path, everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own way. Everybody has their own recipe, as the advocate used to say. You know, I hope he comes back. But, you know, I just wanted to come and talk to you guys. It was a week of recovery for me. I'm so excited. I'm so pleased with my team. I'm excited to bring that video. I'm manifesting in so many different forms. Again, I am is a powerful affirmation that I wrote. I literally wrote it, and when I found the person who could sing the hook, I thought it was perfect. And I listen to it every day because I'm imagining my God body and communicating with my higher self. Again, it's your subconscious mind that you got to worry about, not your conscious mind.
That I am picking up on. I'm smelling a chemical burning like smell, and I'm getting the sense of something being damaged. And I'm seeing cloud dynamics that's circling around here. It's kind of dense. It's not, and it's definitely a smog or a fog of some sort covering, which it feels as though it's from this. And I'm getting a lot of foliage back here as well. So there's a mixture of residential and city-like and town-like and natural environment going on here in a high energy, explosive. So they have found a way to use light, false light, because they're manipulating the light codes. And my belief is, well, my knowingness is that they are putting us in, or giving us a lot of false realities by manipulating the actual light frequency. See, y'all must understand that we only see a very, very small percentage of light. I'm going to make a video about that in the near future. We can't even see everything that's happening around us. Madness. Demolition. It's not a demolition process. It doesn't feel like it, but I could be wrong. But it is definitely things just getting, it doesn't look too pretty. There are structures in very close proximity that are in trouble. They seem to be, again, they just seem to be going through something. The structures are going through something.
And again, there's just a lot of movement from objects, movement by subjects, lots of activity, lots of movement, lots of commotion, lots of energy, structures on fire, movement by objects and subjects. There's a lot of commotion, a lot of energy, a lot of movement. It's kind of loud. I'm hearing some sirens or these loud noises. It's very warm temperature here. I'm seeing colors of dark hues, human life, alive.
Your subconscious mind is way more powerful and always will be. It's your primitive mind. That's what we need to hit. That's where you need to hit it with those sigils, because you got, people working magic against you every day. And don't let it be demonized. It's been from the beginning of time. So when you say abracadabra, you're creating like the word. You're not speaking the word. You're not the dead word. I need you to create like the word and manifest. It's time. The old ones are back. And if you are being called, if you have a gift, if you have something to give to the world, don't operate on the side of fear, operate on the side of courage. You can only win. Push all the negativity, move past the dark clouds, and go ahead and start manifesting today. How you want, when you want, where you want. It's just that simple. Don't tell yourself you can't. I can't, never could. This is your girl, NRG Day Moon. I'm going to be hitting y'all back. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Ashe, 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 yo. Y'all take care.
Shoot up so I can get a wider view. Yeah. I have here a large urban environment with foliage and hills or mountainous landscape, smoke, trees, level irregular land. With all this commotion, it's hard to see what's going on. I'm going to move to the center of the activity that's happening here. Dark clouds, smoke, going, flowing, fluffing. They're really thick, moving. Subjects are running, getting out of movement, complete structure. It stinks, but the scent is very strong.
Like barbecue.
But this is why it's important to learn what the body is. What makes up your physical vessel. This is why it's important it's time, hey y'all, it's time to become black scientists out here, y'all. And I know a lot, when we was in school, we ain't gonna speak for everybody, but a lot of us wasn't that interested in peace.
People are being rushed out. Some are rushing others out. People are being drugged out. Some are being carried out. It seems a lot happening here. So much. I get the energy that this is a mistake or caused by something that wasn't supposed to happen. That type of energy. Caused by something that was not supposed to happen. And again, that it's man-made. It's not a natural fire. It doesn't feel like a gas, like a oil fire, like someone. It doesn't feel like that. It feels something electrical.
So when you saying all the energy you talking about, when like what you just said, like okay, in the hood, a nigga get into his life, he drive down the street, got 8 ball in his hand, end up going to jail. How does that influenced by Orion?
How?
Yeah. Like what are you saying? What's one of the agendas of the Orion Group?
Okay, the Orion Group is a negative intergalactical entity, so to speak. We'll know it in Earth terms. You know what I'm saying? This would be the bad guys according to Earth. They want to control us and use us as slaves. You know what I'm saying? Do it as they may, but they don't have no physical form. You know what I'm saying? They trying to Earth in the density that we own and the density they own don't match. But they are aware of us, and we're not aware of them. So they're trying to match our density to be able to touch, taste, and feel. So all this technology, more technology is being geared towards them being able to manifest into our reality. You know what I'm saying, so to speak.
Or chemical that's causing this to just, you know, and whew, it's a lot and it's heavy. People are crying, people are screaming, people are yelling, people are sad, there are people that are angry. There's someone who, although they feel that they've lost a lot of things, this is not a good experience.
And how does it play out in the hood? Look at a nigga reality. Look at how they the world, every time a nigga, you know, the nigga just look up just so happen, go quick. I just, there's a video, and in the storm, there's a hurricane, and you got the niggas breaking in the Foot Locker still in the gym shoes. I mean, that's Orion. That mentality is Orion. Here we is in the hurricane, life and death, or really the God and the Noah's Ark, you know, something bigger than, but niggas think, well, let me go get me a pair of Jordans. So that just goes to show you how Orion plays into the subconscious of the black man or in the hood, you know what I'm saying? How some intergalactical shit can come all the way from outer space under some alien act, some Bravian act, you know, some what is it, Area 251 type shit, all the way to the motherfucking hood. I mean, but that's alien technology mind program. These niggas are actually in the hurricane still in Jordans.
Very bad.
All right, so I'm seeing this expansive barren topography with these hills in certain areas and some distant mountains out this way out in the expanse. I'm seeing a couple subjects every now and then, just like a subject here and a subject way over here.
So, you know, my channel, I talk a lot about the zodiac with earth, wind, water, and fire. How do Orion play out through the different signs? You know what I'm saying? The zodiac, you got the, you know, the earth people, the water people, the fire people.
Right? They use that. They use the zodiac. That's part of their weaponry. Whether you know it or not, they're using it. Whether people say we believe in it or not, they're using it. And then each zodiac holds a certain chemical balance and imbalance, or a certain element about itself that can be either tweaked for higher purposes or de-tweaked for lower purposes.
Another subject way over here. Seems like a very deserty, tannish hues, barren environment, but this is just the first visual of what I'm getting. But most of the environment seems to have this backdrop, so I'm going to leave that there for a while. Okay, so I'm noticing some areas where there are some structures. They all seem like low-level structures, nothing really too tall. And I'm also getting this visual, which I'll just draw over here, of this subject, and he's got his hands over here on some sort of desk. It looks like a desk. It's just sort of this crossed over his hands. There you go. And he's got this sort of desk, it seems like, in front of him. But the opening of this structure that he's inside of a structure, but the opening of the structure seems a lot like a tent. So, like, it goes over here, and this entrance just seems like it's like a tent.
Call to your group, for you have a need for the diversity of experiences in channeling which go with a more intensive, or as you might call it, advanced approach to the system of studying the patterns of the illusions of your body, your mind, and your spirit, which you call seeking the truth. We hope to offer you a somewhat different slant upon the information which is always and never the same. The Confederation of Planets in the service of the Infinite Creator has only one important statement. That statement, my friends, as you know, is all things, all of life, all of the creation is part of one original thought. We will exercise each channel if we are able to. The reception of our beam is a somewhat more advanced feat than some of the more broad vibration channels opened by other members for more introductory and intermediate work.
Like this guy's sitting in a tent, but it's like a boxy tent. It's like a fortified structure, boxy tent like that. And I also get the vague sense that there are these other subjects, like right here and right here. So this person's sort of just sitting there at his desk, and he's got some stuff around on his desk, some stuff. And these guys right over here, they sort of seem like, well, if I could draw some of their eyes, they sort of seem like they have these dark stuff over their eyes, like shades, like sunglasses or something like that.
So the water element is emotional. So they tend to use more of the water sign because of the emotional aspect, because it matches their technology or the external bullshit they kick it. Right. So therefore they put us under the water nature. So the water nature is childish. So they enhance that in that they create the atmosphere like that to make the people more childish, more immature, not accountable for their actions type shit. They like this. They by emotions. They can read. If I can send out frequencies and signals that can control your emotions, then I can control you. But that's old technology. They didn't upgrade it now. When you look at a move ring, they just threw that out there to show you. If I know these moves and I see you with these moves and I'm looking at a computer screen on my digital hologram and I see, okay, I say, Blau, put this block right there next to this person. I'm looking at you, you just look like a beam of light.
But so it seems just like this. Like there's this guy and he's got some darker greenish clothing. He's sitting at a desk and he's just kind of like mulling over some stuff. And it seems like a tent. So some of these structures, they seem harder, like hard structures. But I also just separately got a visual of this guy. And this was sort of the dominant session element that's just coming back into my mind, is this guy sitting in a tent with some other subjects. And the walls seem like this like tan and green hues. So like this has got these greener hues, dark green hues in the environment. And over here, everything's tan. The landscape's tan, brownish tan, all that type of stuff.
Let us for a moment consider thought. What is it, my friends, to take thought? Took you then thought today? What thoughts did you think today? What thoughts were part of the original thought today? In how many of your thoughts did the creation abide? Was love contained? And was service freely given? You are not part of a material universe. You are part of a thought. You are dancing in a ballroom in which there is no material. You are dancing thoughts. You move your body, your mind, and your spirit in somewhat eccentric patterns, for you have not completely grasped the concept that you are part of the original thought.
Very little foliage in this environment, except for on tops of like some hills. I'm getting some of that, like some foliage over some hills, over here and over here. But very little. Very much seems deserty, the vibration. All right, so I'm also getting the sense that this urban structure-y area is a little bit bigger than I thought it was at first, after multiple passes at the target. So I'm going to add a few more structures over here. I'm getting the sense also that there's more in the sense of like these hills that are a little closer and stuff like that. But I'm also getting the sense that there's these, well, let me use this color. That's not a good color. It's like these like scorched earth cavities. It's like blackness that is like in the earth, and I'm smelling this black smoke type of man-made pollution-y type of smell. And just put some smell S's there. And it's like the earth has been scorched in those areas. So it's like this tan, flat expanse over here, but it's just like there are certainly these like cratery cavities with like black smoke that are just sort of steaming off of it. And then I'm also getting the sense that there's like some subjects that are like hustled up against this hillside over here near the urban area, but not in it.
So I put this right there, the external reaction. So I put this block next to you. I see your mode turn purple. Purple means you're thinking. So I take that away. I put this block next to you and you turn red. I say, okay, I'm gonna use that. What is that? What is that block? They go into the block. This is aggravation. This is loss of wages, shit like that. So therefore, if I keep putting this next to you, all I got to do is just put this next to you and you turn red. This is all I need. Then I see another light turn red. So now it's flaming, you know what I'm saying? I know, okay, what is that? And then another human that they created say that's anger. And he said, okay, let's watch that again. And they keep experimenting like this. This is the, but then they tried different zodiacs. They didn't know at first, so they went through different people. And they said the fire repelled. The fire acted like the shit was a competition. It kind of was like, okay, thought it was a game when they was moving the blocks. So then they said the air, it started figuring out the blocks and manipulating the blocks back to them. So that didn't work. The earth wasn't moving. It was stubborn. It wasn't going. It was in its own form. But the water was steady reacting in a way to the blocks that they can just keep manipulating it. So they said if I do this block for 30 days, keep making this nigga turn red for 30 days, it'll start turning red on its own. They noticed.
And these subjects are like, some of them have headgear on, some of them don't. And they all seem to also have these weapons. And they're all just like crouched down. I'm hearing a lot of popping sounds. And they're all sort of just huddled in a group. And they're, just like with these weapons. And they're just sort of like hunkered down at the side of this hill. And like sort of pressing up against the side of the hill over here at the edge of the urban area. And there's just like this stuff here, and I'm hearing these pop sounds. Sort of sounds like gunfire, like bam, 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 bam.
You see what I'm saying? So they tried to figure out, well, what is that? What is that? And as they studied, they realized certain seasons, it was certain modes of being that we were. If we was brought into this certain season, time or weather pattern, then you were this type of way, you were this type of way. So they converted it into learning our language, understanding that this is a zodiac. This is what they call the zodiac. Now by the zodiac, we can separate them, So what it is, the water element, we're going to go with that because that's more matching our technology. So what is that? That is rainy, watery, moist, chemtrails, a gloomy, rainy day. So we created chemtrails, atmosphere going. By putting us in that atmosphere, it's like being born in March all your damn life, So that's just really an example of why would they use certain zodiacs, because they know they studied, they knew that was more compatible to their technology.
So how the technology, you saying well, let me ask you this. Who are the people that's making the technology and what is the goal of the technology? Like scientists and shit like this, and the German scientists and
Bam, 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 bam. That type of sounds. And yeah, I'm getting that sort of sense. I'm also getting these sort of like whizzing of objects going like an object right here, and it like whizzes through the air, like little objects like whizzing through the air sort of towards this urban area, just going and like just shooting at these random spots like within the urban area, just sort of going with the pops, like a lot of pop sounds. And I'm sort of deducting this gunfire type of thing because it just seems like projectiles, like objects being shot in this direction.
With imagination, let's go to a galaxy far away, and there's an entity called Orion and the Dracons. These are two brothers that kick it, and they do ruthless shit all day, and they got their ass set on Earth. So they come on down to Earth, and under the Adam and Eve Act, the snake in the garden, they had to study the mind, to study the woman, study the man, but they knew the man was more resistant to the bullshit, but the woman wasn't. So they say, okay, now that the Adam and Eve, since they first got here, let's use the woman, maybe we can get to him through her. So they practice on that, and they accomplished that. You see what I'm saying? So now they study man, they study woman, and then they say we need a race, we need a being. So then they come up with Yakub, and he created it, and they manipulate my cube right and left brain to create the idea to create another being. And this being that's being created through Yakub is a being to which they can enter these type of people and do their bidding and do their thing. It's more easier puppets, because the black man on the supreme mode was not a good puppet. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So now you come out with the brown and then white and then albino cross over to white. Now that was more, they grabbed that. Let's see, can we integrate our technology and our spirit, basically, our frequency into them. And
also, I'm getting the sense that far away, there are these black, boxy, maybe just dark, like gunmetal hues, boxy structures with these tubes that are like shooting. They kind of look like tanks or something like that, but they just got these long tubes and they're just going boom, 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 and then like shooting, like just like shooting projectiles out in this direction, like at this urban area type of area. These guys are like way off in the tan distance area, and you know, I guess that's why these guys are sort of hunkered down like next to the hillside or something like that. Some of them seem to have like bandana looking type of things, like red bandanas or something like that over their head and around their neck. Other ones seem a bit more traditional military look, but it sort of seems like a ragtag group over here. But there seems to be another group that's like far fewer in number, but they're like up here, and they definitely look a lot more clean cut.
And then they say, okay, it's a perfect match. We can do this, because they're like the matrix. They don't have what brothers got. So now that they're a new being and we can enter our frequency easily into them, let's put them on top. So let's give them dabs of new technology in order to kill the Chinaman, in order to kill the black man. You know, he didn't do it on his own. They had new technology. So once they got them on the top, you come up with the monarch, Queen Elizabeth, the Brit and shit. So now through them, we're going to keep on blue being. We're going to keep on procreating and keep a hierarchy, like you say, a weird hierarchy. You know, a weird, what you call it?
Like a ranking system,
Yeah, ranking system. Through them, we come up with ranking systems. So,
in terms that they have like these solid helmets on, and they're hunkered down on top of this sort of hill near the foliage, and they have these weapon-looking type things, and they're just shooting them down at these guys. And I don't know if they just got them pinned down or something like that, but they're just shooting these projectiles out there. I see some guys over here that do not have headgear on. These guys definitely just look like some regular dudes, and they're just shooting. They're shooting up at these guys. So that's sort of like this exchange of like fire between these subjects, like these guys shooting up that way, these guys shooting down that way. These guys, I'm not really sure what these guys are. They just seem like, some of them seem quite military, some of them seem less so, but they're just hunkered on the side. And I'm seeing these other subjects that also look quite normal civilian type subjects. I drew that guy weird, but they're not involved in this fighting in the sense that they're just running. So they're really just trying to get out of there. They're going the opposite direction of all this craziness. And
so now they got their hands in the earth where they can actually touch, taste. They so engulfed in it. Their technology is so ruthless, they can actually, just by channeling, they can actually live through these motherfuckers. So when you see these motherfuckers' eyes blinking real fast, that means they're being channeled. Or they are a fucking robot or AI entity, you know what I'm saying? So what it got to do with in the hood is when you come back to brothers' life, when you come like a nigga like damn, you know, brothers, the shit they go to, just give me some examples. Help me with that. Be my news right now. Give me some examples of what I be talking about that you see Orion footprint on it in a nigga life.
Shit like I mean, really, in all aspects, especially like the church, you see it in the aspect of like, niggas trying to get over on each other, with money and shit. Niggas playing each other for money, niggas playing each other, for fame, or like niggas making music and shit, or trying to do a project and niggas be snaking each other. Shit, you see it, I mean, everywhere. Shit, you could, it's a million ways that you see this shit. You know what I'm saying?
And they are not happy about what's happening. But it seems like a war. It seems like a war type of situation, or a battle of some sorts. It's like a deserty, expansive type of environment. I do get the sense that there's water, like, way out there. But it seems like there's, like, these soldier-looking type of people, or these, like, armored type of subjects are, like, up in the face of these other subjects, and they're shooting at each other. And these guys, even though they seem like there's only two of them up there, they definitely are on the same side as these, like, big machines that are just going boom, 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 like shooting, like, lobs of firepower, like, over and just popping this city toward area. I also get the sense that, and this is, like, way off in the distance, I see a little bit of water. Like, this is really far away. Like, just way, way, way off there. I see, like, a body of water. But, anyway, so something else goes like, and this just sort of makes this huge plume of black, it's not brown, black smoke, and just black smoke just like erupts out of here, and this big plume just like poofs up over there. So, sorry if this is a bit of a confusing drawing. Quite a lot's happening in this scene, but yeah, this is really what I got for the target. It seems like some more militarily fortified armory force is getting up in the face of this other group, which does seem militarily capable, but less sophisticated than these guys. And this urban area is full of these unfortunate non-combative subjects that are just running away and trying not to get hurt, it seems like. That is all the data that I have for this target.
So if I put you under the Orion axis, if I put you under the frequency, which is we're going to use the water element and enhance that into every nature or in every zodiac, and so if I put the overall temperature as the water act, now you see why the west side the way it is, and everybody going against the grain.
It's a you turn that frequency. I mean, really, you turn up all the frequencies. I can see under the water act, you keep you under the emotional act, and you can turn that frequency up. Everybody's super emotional. It's the same shit like when it get hot as hell outside. Everybody get hot as hell. They be ready to fucking snap on each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets super emotional, super irritated. Then you got the chemtrails going and shit. It's like a giant ass motherfucking experiment. You know what I'm saying?
With level topography, we have land that's kind of a mix between natural and a more urban feel. We have lots of structures, and this gave me like a city feel, like it's a city or a larger urban area, and tons of subjects everywhere. Some foliage. I could sense some water running by. It's brownish color, not salty, so it's like fresh water. Yeah, and some distant hills, and then just urban noises, kind of like rooms, vehicle noises, talking. So that was my initial gestalt of the environment.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. And it seems like the foliage I'm seeing right now on page 5, it seems to be alongside a road of some sort. And so I guess it's a man-made sort of decorative type of foliage. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, it was scattered. So the scattered foliage. And glad you mentioned the roads, because I did sense a large network of roads.
Oh. Okay, very cool.
Multi-directional.
Awesome. Fascinating. Okay, very interesting. And I guess are those lines back and forth, are those more the network of roads that you were page 8, you did describe some booming sounds. Would you say that there was booming sounds elsewhere, or is this like where these booming sounds were happening from this sort of explosive energetics and this depression that's happening here at page 9?
Yeah. I made the connection that it was due to the impacts that was happening.
Fascinating. Okay. Wow. All right. So, very interesting. You have a little bit of a description of this sort of kinetic energy with the downwards movement on page 10. I remember you said that earlier. So moving outwards, I see your page 13, your flash sketch from M4. You want to describe a little bit more about what's going on there? Is that just sort of like a zoomed out image from when you went a mile above?
Yeah, that's a bird's eye view of the environment below. So distant mountains. And then there's the urban area, concentrated structures, some foliage, and then you could just see the dust cloud. That's kind of like upgoing, kind of,
Okay, you got everybody eating the bullshit food. You see what I'm saying? Thinking on the lower vibration, and you got the music playing with the music got a lower vibration to it.
So that's all Orion based. So go back to the blocks. If I keep putting these blocks in, I want this type of color or this type of mold out of a person. So they're going to put this block right here. So they got this person in red on an everyday basis, light red, just red.
That's like McDonald's. You look at the big ass McDonald's burger. I mean, the big ass McDonald's logo and shit, big red and yellow ass. You know what I'm saying?
Now you look at the blue beam. Now their code is blue beam. Now we thinking when we see blue, that Facebook blue, that Joe Osteen blue. When you start noticing the blue beam, that's what we call reload. Reload, ready, set, go, like load up, and they run that, and that's who part of their ordinance is the blue beam. None of the ones like the captains. Then when you see the ones that don't really have the blue beam and all that going, they just regular matrix crackers that made it. But it's a ranking system, like Tyler Perry. He had to bow down to Joel Osteen under the Blue Beam Act. You know what I'm saying? Under the Orion. When you watch Joel Osteen, he be blinking his ass off. He's a motherfucking android. Really, he's being channeled. He's what they put into play. The reason he can make work the magic is because he is the fucking illusion. You look at this setup; it's all blue.
Here in this environment, I'm sensing a city. There's large structures, multiple structures, and a large structure in the center. There's multiple subjects, like a crowd or a focus gathering on the inside of this structure. I hear lots of loud sounds. The emotions I'm sensing is happy emotions, like anxious emotions, but really happy from this focused gathering. Kind of reminds me of a crowd inside of a structure.
Internet.
They're all focused on one subject.
And you watch him when he blink. Come on, that's the download. Who the fuck really talking? How can you talk and blink? But let's go back to the hood. So how does it play in the hood is when you see motherfuckers in the chicken store fighting. They swinging on each other, railing over some chicken. They going at it, on at each other. Now that's the Orion effect. That's his blueprint. That's what they created. You are a being that which they created. That which they couldn't control. Look what they did. They turned it out and made it into that. Remember, in the beginning, they couldn't get through you. So they had to create something so they can control you. And now look at you. You see what I'm saying? So in the hood, you got niggas going through shit where synchronized bullshit. Shit niggas that they only can see but they can't speak about. Like, the only way this shit can be real is how's the white man doing it? He can't do this. That's that Orion shit.
Or few subjects. I'm sensing these subjects are standing on a base surface. The land environment is flat with level topography.
Channeling the God body event.
I'm noticing
Target event under the gematria.
Screaming and talking, but it's very happy, or more like a excitement type of happy. I'm sensing these two subjects are. There's lots of sporadic movement from these few subjects in the center of the target.
How the hell did I get over here and just so happen, okay, I'm gonna show you an example on the Orion shit. Go to Fruitvale Station. I'm gonna let you use that. That's Orion, perfect setup. Fruitvale Station. From the time he woke up to the time he was telling his wife he wanted to chill, to the time he was on the way, wind up getting killed. That's Orion right there. That's like how it works.
What you mean it's Orion? Though you say synchronized bullshit. What it sounds like you're trying to say something, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Clear. And but like in the you saying synchronized bullshit. And then you know what I'm saying? I understand the movie you trying to tell me, but like what's like when you say Orion?
Okay, but consider this. Who else can put this shit into play? You got the man is telling, you know, his female he don't really want to go. He got a feeling, but the baby, you know, and she say, no, come on. And then just so happened, the mama say, don't drive. Take the bus. He said, all right, I'll take the bus. So just so happened the bus he get into it with the nigga that he seen in jail. Am I correct? He just so happened to be there. That's what kicked it off. Like, nigga, don't I remember you? And then the white lady, she just so happened to be there about the fish. And just all like, wow, really, this all too synchronized. So when you like, the white man can't do that. No, because nigga, that's alien interference.
There's lots of movement from both of them. Well, it's running and walking and running. One of these subjects I'm sensing is a female. The other subject I'm sensing is a female as well. One of these females I am noticing has pain in their body. Something's wrong with one of these female subjects' body. Observing the activity in the environment, I'm noticing a subject that is female, and she's moving a lot. She is moving too much, and she needs to slow down her movements. I'm noticing a lot of arm movement and leg movement, but there's pain in her leg area or lower knee area. This subject is short and thin. I'm noticing a really dark black hair or dark colored hair. She's anxious, and so is the environment around her, or the subjects in the environment around her are anxious.
Am I making myself clear? Am I clear so far? You got three elements. The lady with the fish just so happened to be on the same motherfucking bus on New Year's. All these people, and the nigga he got into it with from jail.
So how does it play out on a day-to-day basis? How does it play out in
that was a day-to-day basis, and the nigga wind up dead. You talking about how does it play out on a day-to-day basis? That was a day-to-day.
So if I'm a air sign, Orion gonna hit me differently than when they gonna hit a water sign versus an earth sign versus a fire sign. So
yes, they are.
In a situation, right? So like if I'm me as an air sign, like okay, so how do Orion come at me?
Something about the activity she's doing is causing her to feel more pain, but she's happy with the amount of movement she's making. She's moving a lot. She's emotionally, I'm sensing she's purposely doing this to herself. She's purposely putting herself in pain.
Water element.
The activity she's doing makes her feel better, or the activity of movement is what makes her happy.
Emotions.
To move in this target event is something that makes her happy, even though she's physically not feeling well.
Well, Orion come at you with a whole bunch of thoughts of ideas that could be done on top of things, a list of things that you told people you had to do, and then another list of things that you have to do. So you have a whole bunch of things going on, and there's no like time time. So you'll run into a lot of situations where niggas wasting your time. You run into a lot of niggas in a situation where you sitting there talking about actually doing something, and this nigga just kicking the bobo. So they build that red block, they build that frustration right there to put you in the red. And if your thing time, they're gonna always have you around niggas wasting your time. So now they keep the red around you, And then what they do is iterate you with the water, because you under the law, you like, nigga, if you do this, this happens. And there's accountability in your chamber. But when you start seeing a motherfucker who is weaving past the law, like, I can do this, and then I can get up here and do this, and be like this, and there's no law, it irritates you. So they got them and study push them with another block, a whole bunch of niggas who lawless. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And
so how do it play out in the earth chamber? How do Orion come out in the earth reading?
Where he give them a whole bunch of raw pain. You know what I'm saying? Like financial shit, financial woes and shit like that. Or just instability, you know what I'm saying? He take that motherfucker and he put him around motherfucker, like the earth, he put him in a situation like this. He just be sitting there, and as you know, somebody said he did something. Let me give you an example of Farrakhan, the UN. The UN sent a letter to Farrakhan saying, nigga, you can't come here. And then he sitting down in the earth chamber like, nigga, I had no intentions on coming there. What the fuck is y'all on? How is this? And they said, oh yeah, Farrakhan is sending threats to the UN. He's like, wait, hold on, that's our chamber. Just the moment we react to some bullshit, it's on and cracking. So our thing is not to even move. We can't move even though we see it sitting there. We can't even respond to this shit.
Okay, so what about the fire chamber? How Orion look at the fire reading?
Well, they do them through the ego. You know what I'm saying? Orion let people around them boost their ego. So over time, they had them do a whole bunch of shit that they used to get away with, to the point where it's more obvious now, and they still doing the bullshit. You know, it's like, I see through your bullshit, but they don't know you can see through your bullshit. So they turn the fire social, so they turn the fire element into loneliness. So what they'll do is always put a fire motherfucker around a lame motherfucker, and the fire motherfucker always be kind of snapping, you know. All kind of, you know, like that.
So, what about
You understand, they're putting everything under the water banner, just off the element. That's why you see the chemtrail. They making it always fall, like March weather. They keeping it always like that. Under that type of motherfucker, you're susceptible, you're gullible, you know, you think about it. You know, the Joel Osteen Act, you can do that in this type of weather, in this weather. You can do that.
There's lots of strain on the knee area, I'm sensing. The subject is moving back and forth a lot, or just is moving too much in the same area. But she's happy about doing what she's doing. Nothing about this subject seems like she's dying, but she seems perfectly healthy emotionally. Physically, she's not well, but she's okay with that.
Dark night of the soul.
I continue to see pale skin tone. This environment has a very hot, humid temperature, something very bright light. This is a city environment that's really loud.
Fire element.
There's a crowd of subjects just paying attention to her and the other subject nearby. I'm sensing something was very positive about this target event, but is very positive about this target event. I'm sensing something is successful, or something succeeds, something's winning, something happens that she's happy about or proud about. Sensing 1 hour after the target event time, the subject is really in more pain than she was at the beginning of the target event.
So World War II, when they was locking all the Jews up and all that shit, what was that, like a test run for Orion when they was doing all type of experiments and shit on the motherfuckers and shit like that?
They made a connection with one that understood. Like Hitler was on that shit. They like, oh, this nigga want to know. It was almost like me and a god body making agreements with him. You know what I'm saying? So they were getting it cracking, but they got.
What about the technology and shit, like the TV and all? What about the TV and the MK Ultra, all that type of shit? What's all that shit?
On the surface, it looked like entertainment before, but when you go that high up in the galaxy in the sky, you realize it's not entertainment; it's weaponry. You know what I'm saying? And in the end, you realize it's a certain form of weaponry. You know, the TV is holographic. They know that I can sit there and suspend you, like you say, you choose to believe this shit is real. And then under the suspended breath, I can send you through the drama. And then in that drama, it's going to play out in your subconscious. And then when it play out in your subconscious, it play out in your reality. So it's like...
She's holding something in her hand during this target event. I'm going to deduct this. I keep thinking about tennis or like a game that's similar to like two teams and or just multiple people cheering on the activity of someone using their body physically too much, like a sport. She has pale skin and very black or dark brown hair. And her hair is very long. I really noticed she's just happy about this event, though. Subjects 1 hour after the target event, they're more calmer than the excitement and that they were feeling before, at the beginning, initial moment of the target event. But the subject is very happy about this, or about doing the activity that she's doing.
Okay, so let's draw some conclusions from these data. June 2021 is going to be a very interesting month. 4 of our reports suggest that an explosive event in an urban area dominates the news in June. So this is obviously something to watch for. It may be something related to a military event, or it may be more isolated. Whatever happens, we will compare it with the details in these reports.
But like a boomerang effect, but you don't know this. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that in the Egyptian scriptures, it was against the law to write and draw images because they knew the effects of just that one image. Now imagine how many flickers is an image, bro? How many flickers is one image on the TV? Is it like 100?
No, it's like 24.
Okay, now you imagine that going like that at a rate of speed of what?
24 frames a second. For 1 second, 24 frames.
Now, picture say 1,000 words. What do you think they're doing with all that 24 frames a second? Come on, man.
We would at this time transfer to an instrument known as Dawn. I am Ra. To minute pause. I am Ra. I am again with this instrument. We are close to initiating a contact, but are having difficulty penetrating a certain mental tension and distraction that is somewhat characteristic of this channel. We will therefore describe the type of vibration which is being sent. The instrument will find us entering the energy field at a slight angle towards the back of the top of the head in a narrow but strong area of intensity. We are not able to offer any conditioning due to our own transmitting limitations. Therefore, if the instrument can feel this particular effect, he may then speak our thoughts as they come to him. We will again attempt this contact. I am Ra. 90-second pause. This instrument is resisting our contact. However, we are sure that we are satisfied that contact with the one known as Dawn is not at this time preferable to that instrument. We will, therefore, move on to the one known as Leonard. Again, we caution the instrument that is a narrow band communication which is felt as a vibration entering the aura. We will now transfer this contact. I am Ra.
So that's how the declare to effect. That's why you got people acting the way they act, and you logically can't really understand it. Like, there's a lot of brothers you help, there's a lot of brothers I help, but then as we helping them, we knowing that once Orion find out, they gonna come jump in their body and they gonna stab us in our back. Now imagine you knowing this, but what do you do to prevent this, or even bring this shit out before it happens? But it's fucked up how it always happens. You gotta think, what is that? What is the Judas mind state? That's Orion. I'm gonna kick it with Jesus and then try to kill Jesus.
90-second pause. I am Ra. We greet you once more in the love and the light of our infinite Creator. We ask that you be patient with us, for we are a difficult channel to receive. However, we may perhaps add some dimensions to your understanding. At this time, we would be glad to attempt to speak to any subject or question which those entities in the room may have potential use in the requesting. Question 1.1. Questioner, do you have a specific purpose? And if so, could you tell us something of what your purpose is? Answer, I am Ra. We communicate now. We, too, have our place. We are not those of the love or of the light. We are those who are of the law of one. In our vibration, the polarities are harmonized, the complexities are simplified, and the paradoxes have their solution. We are one.
You see what I'm saying? That's Orion shit. That's for the God bodies. We run into plenty to our players like that. It's the effect of where they don't take heed to what you're saying. They just take the emotional value or high sound. It's all commercial. So they'll get mad at you for helping them.
Because they want to be they want to be seen as the head of
They want your slot. You just me. And remember, I posted in the Orion mind frame, one of is the me attitude. Me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the shorty with all the candy. And then instead of sharing it, they just want you to know that he got all this candy and ain't giving you shit. That's that right there. And that shit gets older. So as it gets older, we be kicking knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And we'll catch Orion jumping in niggas that be coming for us talking about, y'all shit old, y'all shit ain't, it'd be weird. Like, and then we'll catch the nigga that we just put on to an unseen entity, put him on, and then they'll turn around and say some goofy shit like, he said you stole his bounty in 1994. I need to know the truth. And you like, wait a minute, I just gave you a catalog of light that saved your life, and you talking about a brownie? This is the Orion mind frame, Joe. It'd be like, you need somebody to talk to, because they'll play with niggas like this. Orion is connected to the magnet or the prison or the mental institution.
That is our nature and our purpose. We are old upon your planet and have served with varying degrees of success in transmitting the law of one, of unity, of singleness to your peoples. We have walked your earth. We have seen the faces of your peoples. This is not so with many of the entities of the Confederation. We found it was not efficacious. However, we then felt the great responsibility of staying in the capacity of removing the distortions and powers that had been given to the law of one. We will continue in this until your, shall we say, cycle is appropriately ended. If not this one, then the next. We are not a part of time and, thus, are able to be with you in any of your times.
So you was telling me how there's you said they mean well. You said Ryan kind of mean well in that, but it just play out half cocked.
Well, that's on the higher levels. That's on the higher levels. Ain't too many gonna understand that all bad work for the good. You know what I'm saying? They just basically trying to evolve man. They think they got a better way of evolving niggas than the other ones do. That's all. So it ain't really, like hate. They hate. But their methods is a little ruthless. Just put it like that.
Ra. The identity of the vibration Ra is our identity. We as a group, or what you would call a social memory complex, made contact with a race of your planetary kind which you call Egyptians. Others from our density made contact at the same time in South America and the so-called lost cities, where their attempts to contribute to the law of one. We spoke to one who heard and understood and was in a position to decree the law of one. However, the priests and peoples in that era quickly distorted our message, robbing it of the, shall we say, compassion with which unity is informed by its very nature. Since it contains all, it cannot harbor any. When we were no longer able to have appropriate channels through which to enunciate the law of one, we removed ourselves from the now hypocritical position which we had allowed ourselves to be placed in. And other myths, shall we say, other understandings, having more to do with polarity and the things of your vibrational complex, again took over in that particular society complex. Does this form a sufficient amount of information, or could we speak further?
Like, you gotta understand, they like this. If it ain't in your back, niggas know if it ain't in your backyard, y'all don't give a fuck. So we gonna put it in your backyard. That's how they think. You know what I'm saying? We let y'all on. We don't even mess with y'all. Y'all out here talking about black man, white man, and that y'all. We gonna put it in your backyard. Y'all got this shit fucked up. But basically, you see it though. Orion footprint is the dumb shit you see. You know, the wild shit, the ready to fight, the killing, the murders, the shit you see on the bus stops. You know, the person hollering and shit like that. That's all they dumb prints. You know what I'm saying? The person may be next to you that you don't understand. Y'all never ask yourself, why don't we get along? How is it possible that we can't really get along? What the fuck? We can't figure out what's wrong. And that is a distortion. And what they call distortion under the iron rod files, under the intergalactical talk, is the distortion is mean niggas got their signals crossed.
That the universe is infinite. This has yet to be proven or disproven, but we can assure you that there is no end to yourselves, your understanding, what you would call your journey of seeking, or your perceptions of the creation. That which is infinite cannot be many, for manyness is a finite concept. To have infinity, you must identify or define that infinity as unity. Otherwise, the term does not have any reference or meaning. In an infinite creator, there is only unity. You have seen simple examples of unity. You have seen the prism which shows all colors stemming from the sunlight. This is a simplistic example of unity.
Motherfuckers don't understand each other. You know, distorted. The shit is distorted. You can't really see it for what it is.
In Scientology, they got this shit called R6, and the concept of like how everybody kind of see their life as a movie. You know what I'm saying? When you think about R6 with the Orion subconscious, how does Orion play out in the subconscious of the day-to-day person? You know what I'm saying? The way they think subconsciously and the type of influence Orion got in the day-to-day things that I do. So I'm not aware of.
Reality shows, that's how it looks.
Pornos too?
Nah, yeah, that, but reality show more so. The whole idea, the point of the dress, the look, they look like they're, every last one look like they're a stripper, you know what I'm saying? And the playful gayness of the niggas supposed to be straight and shit like that, you know, that type of shit. Like the 999, you know, it's like the faggot nigga, you know how fag is. Ooh, I got on my knee, it's all about me, I'm so fabulous, that's that shit. And translating to the female is that she become more ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So it boosts us a more delusion, more of a world of delusion, where she forget that she want a nigga, it's just about, you know, her. So it looks something like Rob. It looks like Rob and China Black. It look like that Kardashian dude, and that's what it look like. It look like some shit like that. So the Poemoe Act, what you said under the Poemoe Act, Rob watch a lot of pornos. He's a water sign, so he's sitting there watching it, and she looks like one, so he's gone just off the act, not knowing like Joe. So you gonna put a baby in her, and not knowing right now that as soon as you put the baby in, she gonna leave your ass and eat you for all your bread. How can he not see this? This is fucking common sense. You know what I'm saying?
He's teaming up with a broad just under the Poemoe Act, just like, okay, she look good, so we're gonna be fucking, so we in a relationship just because the porno Act, like the sex aspect.
Yeah, but you don't never let it go. He make a fan into the housewife. She was just supposed to stay a fan. She would have been cool as a fan. He could have just kept banging and he's been cool like he wanted. He got tired of it when it's about his way. Now that he's tired of it, he made himself stuck with it. He could have been reaching stuck with it. He had the baby. And he had the baby under the Orion Act because like that, he said to himself, I don't want nobody else to hit it. So that's where he fucked up at. So he gave that shit. Oh, he like blue brain, the fun, yeah, that's what the pornos do. They send niggas off. They make them marry motherfuckers they ain't supposed to be fucking with, like that. And when I say marry, meaning, you know, have a baby bound. And you'd be like, what the fuck was he thinking? I mean, who else? There's another relationship like that. Was it Usher with he married his hairdresser or some shit. The fuck was that about? Like a lot of them don't know all they have to do is just hit it and keep it as a friend. They can get along fine, you know. They be going into some other shit with it. Due to Orion, the blue ring, the phone, you know, the blue ribbon, you know, the R6. But yeah, it's really, you got to use your imagination with this, fam. You know what I'm saying? This is just a brief introduction into it. And Orion is an intergalactical entity that's under what they call Satan, or, you know, in the ancient time sect. And they have control of the powers that be for so goddamn long. You know, you just study the people that's in power in the ranking system. Ask yourself, why would Tyler Perry give Joe Osteen $1 million? Ask yourself that. Before he would give it to the community and donate it to what the fuck happened, he would give it to him. These are rankings being exchanged. You know what I'm saying?
First, let's check in with the leader of the free world, who is sane, healthy, and not in any way suffering from cognitive decline.
You got the vaccination?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I mean, you see, no, it works. Or you know, or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're. No, I really mean it. There are trusted interlocutors. Think of the people. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, you know, something, or you know, or whether those aliens are here or not. You know, who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it?
I'm sorry. That's just, even by Joe Biden's very low standards, that was incoherent.
I thought he was on a roll.
He started off with asking that activist Journo Don Lemon, you got the vaccination, are you okay? And then we ended up with some very peculiar comments about...
Make sure everyone all the way to the moon's vaccinated. He's a lovely bloke.
That's one interpretation, but I watched that 3 or 4 times. I have no idea what he was saying about the aliens and the walking on the moon, and how that relates to vaccinations and safety. But the man is not okay, Stephen. That's all I can say. He is not okay.
In truth, there is no right or wrong. There is no polarity, for all will be, as you would say, reconciled at some point in your dance through the mind, body, spirit complex which you amuse yourself by distorting in various ways of this time. This distortion is not in any case necessary. It is chosen by each of you as an alternative to understanding the complete unity of thought which binds all things. You are not speaking of similar or somewhat like entities or things. You are everything, every being, every emotion, every event, every situation. You are unity. You are infinity. You are love, light, love. You are. This is the law of one. May we enunciate this law in more detail,